Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. We are from Group 3. My name is Nurul Haziqah. I will start this presentation with the explanation of overview of our issue, which is performance-based pay. Performance-based pay is a sort of payment that is based on an employee contribution to the company, and this plays a vital role in an employee productivity. Research also looks at performance-based compensation as a key motivation for employees to attend company-sponsored training courses. Moreover, it refers to a raise in salary for workers who work to the best of their abilities and are critical to the company's success. In order to make sure the employees' abilities and skills are at a maximum level of satisfaction, the company needs to improve their regular training session for them. In particular, any structure in which a portion of overall income is related to fulfilling performance criteria, such as profit sharing performance bonuses and sales commission, is considered performance-based pay.
So next, my name is Siti Zuliana Binti Dzulkapli, and I'm going to continue this presentation, which is the background of the story, where we have found that there are three theories that can be attributed to performance based on pay. The first was the Maslow hierarchy of pay, which was founded by Abraham Harold Maslow. This hierarchy is divided into 5 parts that need to be met, starting with psychological needs. At the first stage is psychological needs, which include food, drink, air, clothing, and shelter. At this stage, psychology is the most important need that a person needs to fulfill. Secondly is safety needs. The existence of financial security, legality, social stability, and well-being are all examples of this element of security. Thirdly is belongingness and love needs. This indicates that this desire will encompass a person's sense of belonging as well as sociality as expressed through trust, companionship, intimacy, acceptance, and love. For the fourth stage is esteem needs. For the fourth necessity is the need for appreciation. In terms of self-esteem, it can be seen in terms of freedom, mastery, and achievement. For example, employees may feel respected and valued if their achievements are recognized by their company. And lastly is self-actualization. It refers to the goals that an individual has been able to fulfill, as well as the acquisition or addition of personal experience, as well as the development of self-skill. So we continue with the second theory, which is Adam's equity theory, where this theory can be attributed to change in employee performance when given justice. This equity theory has demonstrated that a person is motivated to seek justice. Individuals will be more driven if they receive justice from their employer, whereas those who believe they work in an unfair atmosphere or surrounding will become unmotivated. After that, we can see that input can refer to the level of employment of the employee, the moral of the employee, and the hard work of the employee given to the company. As for the output, it refers to the benefits, recognitions, and salary that the employee earns. From the equity point of view, it will be seen whether the hard work given by the employee to the company is paid or treated fairly in terms of position, salary, and so on. So, for the last theory is reinforcement theory. In reinforcement theory, this has psychological principles that show that behavior is shaped by consequences, and it can also change through reinforcement, punishment, and extinction. For reinforcement is divided into 2 parts, which are positive and negative. For positive reinforcement is aimed to get the employee behavior desired. For example, an employee does extra work to achieve the sale amount set by the company. Then the company has given a bonus to the employee. Thus, the method can be seen as a positive reinforce, where employees will achieve the company's target of earning rewards. After that, for negative reinforcement is to aim to eliminate negative consequences. For example, is when an employee's salary is deducted due to absenteeism from work without reasonable cause. The effect of this is that the employee will not repeat this mistake. After that, for the punishment is to provide an unpleasant environmental stimulus to employees. For example, is that employees who do not achieve the goals targeted by the company will be demoted. And while for the extinction is to reduce unwanted behaviors that are considered a process of extinction. For example, an employee is often given praise for the achievement obtained, after which, for his other achievement, she is no longer given praise, which results in him feeling that the resulting behavior is meaningless to the company. This then suggests that this extinction can also inadvertently decrease and authorize behavior.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Sofiya Izzah, Binti Manaff, matrix number 277816. I will explain on how Maslow hierarchy of needs relate to the performance-based pay issue. First, employee needs fulfillment on their lower level of needs. It is important for this employee to get their fulfillment on lower level of needs before they can progress to another level. At the beginning of career, employee would seek for physiological needs such as a stable income and working environment. This employee would revert back to lower level of needs if they are not satisfied with the current level of need. For performance-based pay, it can fulfill the employee lower level of needs for short term. However, for a longer period of time, the employee for performance-based pay might have inconsistent performance throughout their career. Hence, they would revert back to their lower level of needs as their current level is not being fulfilled and they are not satisfied with their current level of needs.
Next, I will explain on how this theory of equity is related to the issues which is performance-based pay. Companies also apply the theory of equity to compensate employees depending on their performance. Employees who think they are getting appropriately rewarded for their labor are more likely to stay motivated and pleased in their career. This is where the concept is called the equity theory, which it can use to help employees to stay motivated. The distribution of resources is fair to both relational partners. The employees try to create a balance between the inputs they offer and the outputs they receive from the organization. From there, we can see that the output that the employees get from the company can represent as performance-based pay.
Next is explanation on how reinforcement theory relate to performance-based pay issue. First is positive reinforcement, things such as adding salary and incentive towards employee. For performance-based pay employee, this positive reinforcement can increase the employee's performance at work and give positive outcomes towards the company. Second is negative reinforcement. It is to change the employee's bad behavior. For performance-based pay employee, this can make the employees to feel motivated to perform better at work. And the third one is the punishment reinforcement. This can result in stressful work environment. For performance-based pay employees, punishments such as cutting the employee's salary would make them feel demotivated and decrease their work performance at work. The last one is the extinction reinforcement. This will make employees of performance-based pay to stop doing unwanted behavior at work that does not give any benefits to them.
According to the issues in performance-based pay, people are paid for their work, and as long as it is straightforward, there is no problem. However, when questions of unfair performance appraisal arise, it becomes a severe struggle. The issues with performance appraisal can be roughly described as the appraisal undertaken by raters is biased. Compensation will not be fair and equitable unless the bias is removed. Furthermore, it is frequently observed that appraisers are not appropriately trained to manage the appraisal. The solution to this problem is appropriately training raters on appraisal system and procedures. Another issue is a failure to communicate clearly about performance goals. The appraisal process measures what is not done and ignores what is done, such as when the performance dimension and criteria are incorrect and well defined. Performance evaluation difficulties should be addressed by designing appropriate performance appraisal for measuring what should be measured and transparent as possible. Furthermore, it is claimed that performance-based pay creates unnecessary competition among co-workers and, to some extent, sour relationships because all employees would not share the price. To address this issue, the company must implement incentive plans. Incentive plans are employee compensation plans that employ particular rewards to drive team members to perform harder and achieve specific goals. Additionally, pure pay incentive enhance the risk of individual driving corporate growth. For the personal gain, it delivers raters that for what is best for the organization. Another challenge arise by this method is what the company should be measuring. As a result, performance-based pay should be negotiated at the organizational level while taking the variables above into account rather than imposed from the top. In a nutshell, pay for performance tactics are widely employed in many businesses to motivate, develop and enhance employee performance to boost workplace productivity. Employees must be included in the planning phase to ensure that they are satisfied with the impact of the incentive pay. Failure to involve them has a significant role in the failure of incentive pay plans. To ensure the effectiveness of pay for performance initiative, any shortcomings that develop during its implementation must be appropriately handled.